The North American Challenger Qualifier #1 for our big double elimination that's going to be going on Friday and Saturday for $10,000 prize, as well as 1,000 points and 4 spots at Dreamhack Austin. As we now get into MCanning versus Neeb, Todd, and this will be a qualifying match for the double elimination on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, you're quiet.
I mean, I was expecting the KLI's typical intros.
Oh, you want me to do that? Move your mic closer to you. There you go. You're helping me.
Hurry up, by the way, because stuff is happening.
Okay, to the bottom left-hand corner, it's going to be Neeb in the red, and to the top right-hand corner, it's going to be MCanning in the orange.
And look at this. Mirror builds, both players walling off their ramp. PvP has changed a lot, KLIs. They're both going to be pylon blocking their ramp so that the opponent doesn't know at all what's happening in the opponent's base. And then the question is, behind this, do they still go for the exact same thing, which would be double gas for both of them? Stargate's very common in this kind of situation where you already have a wall off as well. Like if the opponent doesn't go for a Stargate, it's very hard for them to properly deal with it. We've all tuned into Roddy Stream. These Phoenixes are pretty good.
Well, I'm glad that we got the Executor telling us that both probes were attacking pylons, so that's all good. Thank you very much. It's going to be Cybernetics cores behind this, noticeably in range here, so you can technically see it. Likewise up here, of course, very difficult to build it out of range, considering that both of your pylons are in the wall. So beyond that, at least they know there's not super fast nexus on either side just yet.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard to be able to afford that. I guess if one of them only had one gas, then they would have had the minerals. But like I said, if one of them has only one gas and is going for a nexus, then it will get picked apart by Stargate. So it will be a huge risk to do that.
The question is, Todd, which pylon dies first? Dun 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 dun.
Well, it will be MCanning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right now Neeb's winning the race.
Yeah, good job, Neeb. And there's no unit actually being produced for MCanning, while oh, he has the mothership car on the way. Never mind.
Ooh, what? Neeb goes for a Nexus and a Sentry.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he's not gonna go for a Stargate, whereas MCanning goes for the Stargate pretty quickly.
And it was.
Oh, that pylon!
Get the probe!
Yeah, as soon as you see Mothership Core, even if he was to get close to killing it, with, say, like 2 more hits, then maybe MCanning would have Photon Overcharge, which I think might be worth it to sacrifice the probe, maybe. But Neeb wants to keep it out on the map. And Stalker on the way behind this. Okay, here's the thing about Neeb. His control is actually insane. Like some Protosses, I'm saying some Protosses, or I'm just going to say it myself.
Okay.
I have 4 or 5 Stalkers in my middle line. An Oracle flies in a corner where they're not ready. He still shoots down a couple probes. No, not with Neeb. Even if he has as little as 3-4 Stalkers, an Oracle flies in, or a Phoenix, he's going to be moving perfectly, shooting at the Phoenix, moving again, shooting again. Like in terms of that, he's actually one of the most impressive Protosses that I've seen at picking off those air units. He almost makes it look like, you know, it's just not viable to go for air. But like I said, Stargate is a pretty strong tech here on this map and in this position. And what in the world is going on? MCanning went for additional gateways and a Robo instead of a Nexus.
Yeah, he's got a probe in place to actually throw down that Nexus eventually. But one thing's for sure is I guess he wants to put on some earlier pressure against
By the way,
things.
I love the Sentry first, because even though it doesn't do much against Phoenixes, where like, you know, if it gets sniped, then you've made it for nothing. This is the important scout.
Yeah.
And Neeb, he's a great reactionary. Hey, that's what I was talking about. Look at his Phoenix. He wasn't even in an area where he was being properly spotted, but Neeb goes there, really does a lot of damage on it. And behind this, gets the perfect scout, sees the late Nexus from his opponents, the entire infrastructure. MCanning even canceled the Robo.
Yeah, he did. Huh.
And now he's going to remake it.
Oh, okay. Leaving his opponent in the dark a little bit, I suppose. Picking up even just a probe there. Not too bad with these Phoenix, but at the same time, Neeb always tracking them, always providing ample firepower to eventually push them away. Losing a probe down towards the bottom, but to be expected. That was the one that was on the outer edges and outskirts anyway, locked out by the pylons. Why is he killing that pylon instead of this one?
One pylon is not better than the other.
Except... except it is. Anyway, I guess it's just a quicker route through, technically, if he has to get from one side to the other.
He changed his mind, actually. I don't know.
Does he just want it equal? Is this like a Zen kind of like building where he just wants...
Yin and Yang.
The Feng Shui is...
Yeah, but then one has 16 hit points, the other one 20.
Yeah, shoot it again. Get your probe on it, mate. Anyway, there's serious business going on the other side. There's Phoenix doing things, trying to get a probe cancelled.
Why was there even a probe there? Like, you would think he would snipe the pylon and dance on the probe down.
Yeah.
It's weird. But anyway, Robo going down now for Neeb. Additional gateways.
Nice.
Oh, he gets the sentry. That's big.
Yep.
And the probe as well.
Good now.
That's going to deny any follow-up scout from Neeb here for a long time because he has nothing else he has to scout with. No hallucination, no observer, no Stargate units. And look at this. Void Race and Immortals being made out of MCanning, so maybe a 2-base timing.
Yeah. Void Ray Immortal, very cool. Just kind of, especially if your opponent doesn't have Stargate at all, I guess you just kind of kill all the Stalkers, then win the fight as quickly as possible.
Yeah, usually overcharge is what you need to worry about, and huge amount of Stalkers with Blink, which Neeb has, and he's good micro as well. A little bit surprised to see MCanning, since he goes for that many probes. Usually, like, I immediately think when I see Void Race and Colossus that there's going to be a 2-base, but he's only on 2 gateways.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go for a 2-base, you need to be on, I don't know, like 4 or 5. You need to be on a lot of gateways, right? MCanning hasn't spotted the actually additional base starting from Neeb.
All right, now he's opened up the base. All fun. There's Neeb here, going to move out with these Stalkers.
Oh, the Stalkers.
Yeah, he has Blink available. He can... Oh, get it! Almost.
Quick enough reaction from MCanning not to lose to any of these guys. Neeb is just so good mechanically. Like, he will always get ahead a little bit by a little bit and more as time passes by. I mean, look at the situation now. He's got a 3rd base up against no 3rd base. For MCanning, he has MCanning scared inside of his base right now.
Yep, trying to blink away with these Stalkers. Catches a few of them with the Phoenix, but he trades for trade.
Neeb might just be able to do an Eternal Lockdown here. Against MCanning, who's going for +1 air weapons, his 2nd Stargate, and who's, I mean, might be stuck in his main base for a long time.
I mean, even if he's trying to go for a 2nd Stargate, etc., and just more Void Rays, like...
He could have gone on the pylon.
He could have
MCanning actually moving down. No, he sees the amount of Stalkers. He's like, hell no. There is sentries down there as well.
Is the 2nd pylon in the back in reach to be able to power that gateway?
It should be.
Yeah. Okay. And for now...
Wow, he's just going to wait for like a ton of Void Rays. And Neeb going for more gates, charge. I love this because he's going to wreck the ground army of MCanning, and then the Stalkers aren't enough to deal with air army.
It's very overpowering. Whoa, he just set the shades. He didn't cancel the shade.
Yeah, because I think he was going to go for the attack, and Neeb very nicely picked up the sentries. He saved them for a little bit, then one of them died, but he had the force field down, so this, I mean, trading 4 adepts for 1 sentry like this is not worth it. And I think Neeb's going to give up the lockdown here in a second because he's flying back with the Prism and the sentries. You don't want to get too greedy with this, right? Like, the more you lock down an opponent, the more he's going to make an army that's eventually going to be able to deal with yours. Neeb has had a 3rd base up and running for a long time. He's many probes ahead. He's made a lot of gateways. I think now would be a good time to pull back, make a ton of units, and then go for your own attack as the opponent's 3rd base is finally up with way more army than the opponent will have.
All right, so he's done good in terms of the trades as well, as just trading out some units here and there. The Stalkers have been pretty efficient with that 4th base going down here for Neeb as well. Shows how comfortable he feels really behind the pressure that he put on just now.
Yeah, Neeb is so consistent with probe production. It's one of his best qualities. But sometimes also can be his downfall when he gets surprised by an attack he's not ready for. It doesn't happen very often though. MCanning going for the Robo Bay behind this. If he has fully identified the army that's Neeb's going for, he might want to go for some disruptors on the ground to try and deal with this massive amount of Zealots and Archons that we're going to be seeing.
MCanning sending in a Phoenix as a scout down towards the bottom here to have a little bit of a look around.
Yeah, just get a sick wall. If he gets a sick wall at his 3rd base, then he's safe against ground attacks.
Yeah. Oh, loses a sentry though.
Oh, and he gets the fleet beacon.
Oh, yeah, I figured that you may go to that after the 2nd Stargate.
Mothership, man.
You think?
Yeah,
or
if you get Mothership and Cloak, like...
Yeah, that's true. Is he not trying to just get set up on the 3rd and then just go straight to carriers?
I don't think it's necessary against somebody who's out-expanding you and, you know, getting enough with the upgrades and stuff. Usually Mothership and Cloak solves a lot already, like it's super annoying to deal with, but in this case there is no big wall. Neeb denied the wall from going up, so now there's only 2 pylons that can shoot.
This army is absolutely massive, and it's got Zealot charge as well in this. So the Immortals are going to have a terrible time at the front.
I know MCanning is incredible with his Disruptor shots, but that one's going to be... He's going to have to be insane. He shoots it, the Disruptor gets shot. And
it's going to be focused down at all of the Void Rays as well, down towards the back here with these Stalkers. The Archons are let through, and that is going to be the floodgates open. Neeb takes game number 1 very swiftly there with such a powerful gateway force.
The Fleet Beacon was a little bit early there, and the wall not there on time.
Yeah.
Impressive, Neeb. Solid as you would expect from him in game number 1 in what can be a volatile matchup, but I like the way he played it. I'm not going to say that I will try that with the Sentry and Stalkers. I feel like he will go horribly for me, like 2 Phoenixes will fly in, snipe my Sentry before I can have hallucination, and then I'm behind. Opponent starts picking off probes one by one, but the way he executed that looked very, very solid, and you can tell he's practiced that and knew that the likelihood of MCanning going for Stargate was there.
Yep. And we're going to be on Belshire Vestige next, as MCanning. As much as he looked very, very impressive in his previous series and stuff like that, it's very difficult for, I think, anybody in the world at the moment to go up against someone as strong as Neeb.
That was a quick start, by the way.
That was. I was scared.
Yeah, we joined the lobby. I was like, am I in the game?
Yeah. That was
the countdown.
I'm impressed at their trigger finger. All right.
Neeb not wasting any time. Qualifier number 1, just cruising through. And now looking pretty good against MCanning. Let's see if he can do it.
He knows what he wants, and what he wants is a place in that double elimination 16-man battle royale.
He wants all that money in his bank accounts, guys.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. How much did he win for Casper Cup first place? Do you recall?
I can look it up. Is it like 20K or something?
It's all right, isn't it?
In it?
It's all right, mate.
18,100 bucks.
18,100.
Was close because he was a 20 million one.
Yeah. The conversion rates.
Yeah.
I see.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Who was that? Green Lord.
Yeah. The memes are real.
Not bad. Not bad.
Like David Copperfield could have shown him a trick. He would have said, "Not bad. Not,
not bad. Not bad." He makes the Empire State Building disappear. Not bad.
What a meme.
It's so funny, like doing, even just sat here like casting StarCraft, like because I watch so much at home, you know. I love watching this game still, even when I'm just so busy with other things. But so I get to have this like window and glimpse into all of the memes that are developing. Not so much the internal memes, which apparently developed at such a rapid pace. But anyway.
I thought he was like auto-observing for a second because you let go of the keyboard and mouse. I was like, what?
No, I'm pressing
the
F.
Technologies. They finally programmed the Funka. I knew he was going to be obsolete eventually.
That's all you have to do, man. As long as you bind follow, you can make your observing look relatively seamless.
Neither player going for a wall off here on Belshire Vestige, and the first scout's going to be for MCanning. Neeb with no scout at all. I have to say, Neeb's build are very, very refined. Not that MCanning's builds are not, but the style of Neeb kind of reminds me of like a new generation Rain, where it's like just like super refined from start to finish, extremely sound defensively, and kind of like ready for everything, right? Whereas MCanning is more like his own brand of Protoss, where he likes to be aggressive. He likes his own units, the Disruptor in particular.
Yep. Well, you're right about that. I mean, even as something as small as where's your Chrono Boost going early on, like you can see the differences in them, right? Neeb is going for more probes, wanting more economy, a stronger later stages of the game, whereas MCanning was initially Chrono Boosting onto his Warp Gate tech, and now he's gone back onto the Nexus.
They've exchanged roles, Carlos.
Yeah, realizing, in fact, MCanning was realizing when he went in, it's like, oh, okay, your Chrono Boost is there, thus I don't have to be too much worried about my Warp Gate, but of course, Neeb always playing with your mind.
Yeah. MCanning opening with 4 Stalkers, whereas Neeb opened with 2 Adepts, and he's now going to 2 Stalkers defensively with the Nexus he's getting.
Yep.
I think the Nexus is a little bit delayed here from MCanning, but I expect it to be starting very soon. Yeah, there it is. And Sentry behind this from Neeb. You want to get that hallucination to scout with eventually. He's going to cancel that. Oh, let's it finish.
Goes in, because he was being attacked by the Stalkers on the right-hand side. Really wants a probe, apparently, but I don't think he's going to get much there. Gotta leave. Gotta go fast.
What, that baits?
All gone.
Sick as bait.
Sick as bait.
I like how Neeb is being super safe, by the way. He's checking his entire bottom left side of the map for proxies. Even just a pylon, like if you can find that, it can save you games at times. Robo facility on the way and Twilight Council, so it's going to be a standard blink play, I'm assuming, with some observer to have detection. And on the other side, we've got the Robo Bay, but no Twilight Council just yet from MCanning, so they're kind of delaying that.
Yeah, even though he has quite an abundance of Stalkers out at the moment, and they're just useful as defensive positions, and double Sentry gets warped in, so they'll bank a little bit of energy.
But again, it feels like everything's later for MCanning, right?
Yeah.
And this is the thing with Neeb. He's not going to slow down as you go into the later stages of the game.
Nope.
He's solid the whole way, so it's very hard to find some sort of advantage against him. I feel like stylistically, you either someone who, when you face Neeb, is going to have some sort of advantage because of your crazy style and your crazy antics, or if you're more of a standard player who doesn't try too much to surprise him, basically. If you play standard, you're going to be in trouble against him. The more standard you play, the harder it is to beat him. And so that's why, like, when I played against Neeb, I remember, like, I lost every single game because I always tried to play the longer game and stuff, and slowly but surely he always got an advantage, kept on extending that lead more and more, and beat me every single time.
Feels like you need a leader to kind of defeat Neeb. In terms of, like, if you're going to play the follower, if you're just going to kind of like scout out what he's doing and realize that you're behind, then you can't just keep following. You got to be the leader, man. You got to get in there and be like, "Urgh." Make that noise.
You're gonna say, "I'm a doer."
I'm a doer. I'm going to do it. Yeah. And then Neeb just beats you anyway.
My name's Daniel Lugo, and I believe in fitness. You seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen that movie. What is it from?
Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain?
He goes to like you know, one of those.
Is it an MMA movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
It goes to like one of those seminars, you know, where like you pay a lot of money, and then you have this motivational speaker that explains you how to be successful in life. And this guy specifically selects him from the audience. He's like, "Are you a doer?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a doer." He's like, "I can't hear you." "I'm a doer." Screw it, mates.
I like it.
You need to be a doer if you want to be Neeb.
Exactly. Don't be a follower. Because he'll just win. Anyway, looking round, MCanning sees everything pretty much. He saw the Robobay going down in the back, and both of them are going for that, but Neeb's just ahead. So
he's playing it pretty safe, by the way. Getting 2 more gates before going for another base. I don't know why, but I have like this weird, I think it's a bad habit of always thinking that you need to be on 3 gates in the start of the game. It's like a false impression. Because now in PvP and you open with the 2 additional gateways that you go for in the start, you can actually stay on 2 gates as long as you're safe and you know you're doing some scouting and you know what's up with the opponent, and then later add maybe 2 more or something. You don't need to add like 1 more. That weird awkward number of just 1 gateway.
The scout's going to get killed off. Did he
second robo
spot?
For MCanning.
Ooh, so maybe a lot of disruptors?
Yeah.
A lot.
Looks like he's ready to spam those disruptors. We've seen some epic PvPs.
Yeah, we have.
Purification Novas landing all over the place. Disruptor against disruptor. Usually leads eventually as well, if the players feel like it, into some airplay with what used to be the Tempest and now is more the carrier.
I remember that fantastic... I mean, in fact, the majority of Neeb's road through Kesper Cup was off the back of fantastic disruptor control, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of the PvPs that he actually went into.
And then in the next tournament that he played, I kept saying he's so good at disruptor, and he lost like most of his games.
I like it.
He's lost a little bit of his superb, right, in PvP, I think. But he's still insanely good at it. Like, unless you're like, I don't know, stats or like a top Korean Protoss, usually you're not the favorite going into a match against Neeb.
So he's lost some of his polish? Like an aged mahogany desk?
I know that word. Like, you're not gonna trigger me there.
Okay.
Some of his polish. He hasn't lost to mana.
No?
Cap.
Hey, I like it. All right, well, Guardian Shield going to be thrown up here as the Purification Nova comes out. Guess the rocks! Get those rocks, yeah! We didn't really do much. There's going to be some Adepts into the mineral line.
Whoa! He blinks forward, actually, into those disruptors. I think Neeb realized that there weren't many disruptors yet, so if one of them shot and there was only another one in the army, then he could just blink forward, snipe the one that was in the army, and then pull back. Maybe snipe the other one that had shot originally as well. So some good trades.
He's a little bit behind in army supply, but worker supply behind this is very powerful for Neeb.
Can you give me a Shift L real quick?
Shift L. Yes.
So look what he traded so far. Some useless units called Adept and Stalkers for 1 Disruptor.
This one's important.
Actually, he lost. He lost a fair amount, but I mean...
McCanning's on double robo, right? So technically he can, if he does have the proper economy for it, replenish those quickly, whereas the second robo's only just going down now for Neeb. So it might normalize.
And Neeb's ahead on the Disruptor count. He's starting a 4th base ahead. Like, when does this guy ever expand behind somebody?
He's a leader, man. Told you, he's a leader.
And Stargate going down for both players. So usually, in this situation, you need to have a lot of vision on your opponent's army. So you want to go for some oracles for revelation.
Yeah.
But then eventually, I would say like the way you time the transition into Mothership and Carriers, if you want to, is when players are already well set up on 4 to 5 bases, and they are closing in on maxing out. You need to be, I would say, at least over 170 supply, right? And then you can go start thinking into going into carriers, because by the time you're starting those carriers, you're usually maxed out, and then you're not
He
worried
blinked
about
already.
an attack.
Oh! Woo! He already blinked on towards some of those units at the front, so he loses out. Oh, it doesn't catch anything with his Purification Novas. He's 10 workers ahead, so technically his economy is splendid.
You want to dance with the devil? Play a PvP with one of these guys.
Yeah.
Disruptor shots all over the place.
If I was playing this, I feel like I was playing against loaded dice. This is scary. I would instantly lose.
It's so blatant, by the way, as an observer, like how well Neeb is playing and how ahead he is with everything, and he's expanding and stuff.
Yeah.
But as MCanning right now, he might be thinking that he's quite a bit ahead in this game because of the way it has gone, right? Like, even though his army is revealed, and the fights, like, it's been fairly even trade, right? He lost a Disruptor here and there, but he's holding on.
Yep.
He's taking his 4th base. But because he doesn't see that 4th base from Neeb, he might actually think that he has even an earlier 4th base himself. He might not see all the numbers. He might not be able to look at the supply guys.
No, I don't think so. That would be weird if you could. In-game, but you're right. You're totally right.
Oh, this is sick, by the way. Look at what Neeb's doing.
Dun dun.
Boltesque move here, sending a huge chunk of his army on the right-hand side because of the mobility of Blink Stalkers plus Disruptors that can retreat and cover their retreats. With Purification Novas, he's able to do that and threaten. I mean, obviously, it takes incredible skill to do this drill, right? Like,
yeah.
If you don't pay attention to one chunk of your army and some Purification Nova land on it, MCanning will do the same, trying to land that money shot eventually. Revelation
again on towards this army, so he knows where it is at all times. He also caught the Observer with that, I think, so it is revealed.
Oh, Neeb. He was not moving.
Fight.
Whoa!
Oh! Sending the Purification Novas on 2 fronts there is MCanning, so really causing Neeb some troubles. I mean, even blinking forwards there. Going to try and sacrifice some of the Stalkers to focus down the Disruptors.
That was very eager.
Back and forth.
Yeah, one single mistake there, and you can get 10 units blown up instantly and be in a ton of trouble. The vision that both players have is very important, and MCanning, I can't believe he's blinking forward so eagerly there, but trying to trade against some of these Disruptors. Yeah, and he's slowly losing out on this war, and the problem is that because, again, Neeb's been on 4 bases, he has 70 workers or so, he can replenish much quicker here than we're seeing from MCanning. And Neeb is slowly winning out this position. Oh my god, Disruptor hits, though. Come in on towards Neeb. That evens up quite a bit of the army supply here as MCanning's kind of pushing him up against the wall. Neeb running with the tail between his legs, focusing down more of those Disruptors as well as the Immortals as well. And he killed all the Disruptors of Neeb for the most part. So he's actually on the chase there. He's reinforcing on the natural where there's still some Stalkers of Neeb.
He got 3 Disruptors with 1 Disruptor, but he's still blinking forwards there, bringing down some of those expensive units. More Disruptors from the high ground here. Gonna walk. Oh no. Neeb losing out on those. And that is bad news bears.
Yeah, a little bit of a chaotic situation there, where Neeb, actually not having any Disruptors, is going to make it tough for him to fight against this.
It's all over
Staying
the place.
on the high ground is nice, because Purification Novas don't go through cliffs like this, but the fact that there was Immortals here makes it even harder for Neeb to fight, and now MCanning, it looks like he's going to be able to get that 4th base sniped.
Looking good to go onto the low ground, getting some of these Disruptors, intercepting them as they do come forwards. Neeb, in a little bit of a desperate move there, is trying to shut down the reinforcements. He did well with it.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He saved all of his probes, by the way, on that base on the left-hand side that was sniped.
Yeah.
And MCanning still has yet to saturate his 4th base. He's over-mining in his other base, like his main base mined out. Eventually now he's gonna transfer over these probes, but supplies are still about even. If he had done that a little bit better, MCanning might be very far ahead now.
He traded off so many disruptors, and to the point where Neeb kept the disruptor count now even after all of that craziness.
There were a couple of patience blinks there that made it happen for him, and as much as it's like it can make or break your game, and in this case it really made it here for him.
All right, grabbing himself the Oracle at least. It's costly to replenish here for MCanning.
+3 available for Neeb is very important, by the way. Like, he's being 1 upgrade ahead at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
Interesting. We saw charge being made for Neeb, which is more of the standard, and resonating blades for MCanning, who's not, I mean, you don't want to get adepts, right? They would just get blown up, really not do anything there.
Here come the Purification Novas again. Can't really do too much. Blinks forward, snipes out the Oracle. Didn't have vision of the Oracle, but had vision of the units underneath the Oracle, so he knew when it was coming in. Very good by MCanning.
Weird, MCanning is warping in some zealots at home. Does he think he made charge?
I think he's going to the left-hand side and trying to kind of harass this base, but already you can see Neeb warping in zealots of his own to try and do exactly the same thing.
He's gonna face actual charge.
Yeah. Like, no! Ripped apart. Limb from limb.
+3 finally starting here for MCanning, remaking an Oracle as well. And Neeb still ahead in supply, having retaken that base. Saving all of the probes the way he did it was very important. I'm surprised when I see a Protoss be as aggressive as Neeb is here, because MCanning has so much extra vision. Like, if you look at his vision right now, like the vision that Watchtowers offer is like free vision. But somehow, as long as he's careful enough, he's gonna be alright. And a huge chunk of Neeb's gonna do the same. He's gonna try to sandwich this army, maybe? He's coming in from the left-hand side.
Yeah, the last time he tried to do something like this, it ended up resulting in that messy, messy fight. I don't want to say messy, actually. I should take that back. More like crazy and chaotic. And we will see if this results in that same thing again. Does he have vision up onto the high ground? He could blink up with Stalkers, because there's actually not much really protecting that, but he doesn't have vision with the army.
And Neeb has like nearly no vision, yet he's still being super aggressive like this. He's confident in his capability of blinking in and out of trouble, kind of like this, where he gets a disruptor there. MCanning's, oh, that's important, sniping an Oracle here.
Yeah, very nice.
If you can make sure your opponent has no Oracle out on the map, and right now that's the case for MCanning, then the vision will be yours. And then that's when you start really to do a lot of damage.
Oh, MCanning, I think he got some more disruptors down here with his. He's got 10-4 right now. Sorry that we missed that, but we caught the tail end.
There's still more, though, for Neeb, and behind this, the air transition is on the way. Additional Stargates around the natural fleet beacon. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing carriers being started here very soon.
Dive in on towards more disruptors. Oh, and it dies! Oh, he trades 2 for 2, trying to get as much as he can with these Stalkers as well.
Chargers are really good here in this splits of units, by the way, because they deal very well with Stalkers. Carrier production now began. Oh, MCanning. Oh, that's so sick what he's doing right now. He knows that a huge chunk of the army of Neeb is on the right-hand side, so he's going to move his entire army on the left-hand side and try and catch as much of this as he can. He gets a huge rally of probes there. I think Neeb might just base trade with the Stalkers or come back and try and defend. Let's see. He's walking back, warping in a lot of Zealots here to try and
sandwich it.
Yeah, I think as long as those don't die from disruptor shots, the Zealots are great against Stalkers.
Is he going to try and come in from 3 angles here? He might do so. He might be caught between a rock and a hard place here, MCanning, as Stalkers on every single side. Here comes a disrupt shot on the right-hand side there, as Neeb tried to dodge out from it. Stalkers are just trying to micro back here against those Zealots. And actually, Neeb doesn't really have that much firepower against this army. Guardian Shield's been thrown up. Here come the Zealots again. And MCanning's going to have to stand his ground in this corner. Focuses down a Disruptor. They blink forward here. There are 2 Immortals in that, but the Disruptor sends forwards Purification Novas. He sends the 2 Disruptors in that. And MCanning, oh my god, he's going to lose his entire army up against the wall.
On the right-hand side, he's sniping that 5th base off Neeb, and he's trying to evacuate with the Stalkers that he has.
He recalled to try and save it, and he saves the Nexus.
Oh, that's so sick here by Neeb to actually save that. Remember, he's got carriers on the way behind this, and he basically got rid just now of most of the Stalker count here of MCanning. Neeb might just counter-attack, but he doesn't even really need to, like those carriers.
Talk about strategical prowess. Neeb just slowly shepherds his opponent's army into the corner like a bunch of misguided sheep. Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
You've missed me, haven't you? Come on, admit it, admit it. Go on, go on.
MCanning has no idea about the carriers. That's the sickest thing.
Yeah.
Like 6 carriers are gonna show up at his doorstep. Actually, oh, no, he cancelled. I think Neeb might have panicked. I'm pretty sure he had 3 more carriers on the way. He's just gonna stay on 3.
It's fine
He's
by
probably
me.
thinking, I don't need 6, just 3 is enough.
Let's show this nerd the carriers.
What a sick game.
Yeah, that was really cool. Whew. All right, well, these fights are going to ensue just a little bit more. Let's Blink's back there. Let's go, carriers. Let's go, boys. Soon enough. He has to. He
A
realizes
huge
it's
disruptor
lost
count
focus.
lead, by the way, for MCanning. 7-2.
Yeah.
What a sick game.
What is
Man.
going on? Why does my game keep minimizing?
Army supply, quite a difference there.
Boom.
Almost 15.
Unfortunately for him, those disruptors really do nothing against those.
Oh, and Neeb gets a cancel on that left-hand side base. That's a big, big deal. Graviton Catapult wasn't made yet.
Oh no. Well, gotta get it now.
Yeah, that's very important.
Very important. Increases the damage output of those carriers quite significantly.
You know, Zest was streaming recently, and he played T-Drogo on ladder.
Yeah.
And he had this game where, like, they weren't on full... Oh, actually, wait a second. Okay, no, that's PvP.
He's
for
getting
you.
a lot. He's
just
getting
another-
a
Oh!
lot.
Oh my god. MCanning not ready for this one, and now he's going to be in even more trouble. I thought he had a chance there because he had so many disruptors, but I think he might just be going for the attack, and that might be a final-ditch effort.
It's going to be a slaughterhouse if he's not careful. Sends for once another purification over, barely even catches anything. The interceptors are doing so much. He's even just trying to focus down the disruptors as he blinks forwards once again there, trying to dodge another purification over, catches 4 of the stalkers, continues to push them back. The 2 zealots that could.
Neeb is not even using his entire army.
Oh.
He had left a little bit of it behind here. Blink forward is going to snipe one of the carriers, but not enough stalkers are left over from MCanning.
And that's double disruptor shots coming on in. That's going to be GG. Neeb will advance on. GG indeed. Wow, what a game coming out from Neeb. Whew.
Great job by him. Really the best game of the day,
Yes.
I would say, and really sets up the pace for him and the momentum going into this weekend's qualifiers, in which he will take part. And he might have to face Billy or Puck. That would be some pretty good PvPs as well.
Yeah. We're shaping up for some really good games.
I want to
already.
finish my story. So Zest was playing T-Drogo on the Korean ladder, and they had this game where like they were maxed out, and they had a bunch of carriers, both of them. And Zest loses his entire army, loses the game. He clicks on his fleet beacon, and I think he might have started Graviton Catapult and then left the game because he had lost. It was so weird. I was like, what? How did he forget that? But it happens to the best of us. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And actually, technically, it didn't happen to Neeb because he started that eventually
True.
when he had only 3 carriers.
Yeah. All right, well, that's Neeb advancing on and doing very well for himself. I wonder if there's any updates in the brackets, Todd.
I'll have a look, yeah. There's a couple. Poke Bunny qualified, actually, beating No Regrets.
Yes.
Always been known for his TVZ.
Let's check that out.
Yeah, Poke Bunny beat True at some point in the qualifier when True was already doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's very good himself. And then in the lower part, we've got Panabear and Bio Ice competing for one of these spots. Cuddle Bear's waiting for an opponent still.
Cuddle
And then
Bear.
over here, Neeb makes it to this weekend's qualifier in which 16 players will be facing each other.
Awesome stuff. So I'm curious as to whether or not... There we go. There's continuous music. Because it kept cutting out in the middle of the games, and I was like, what's going on? It was strange. But now, I suppose we go to a break, and maybe we get another series?
I mean, you need to find out, right? Like,
I'll just keep making hand motions until you answer.
don't go full Michael Birds on me. Well, the thing is, what's going on in that lower part of the brackets?
Let's find out. We shall find out in just a moment. We'll find out while a break is going on. That will make things easy and tidy and comfortable. So for now, we're going to go to a short break, and when we are back, hopefully more StarCraft action here from the qualifiers as we try and find ourselves another quarterfinals match. See who advances on to Friday and Saturday with that double elimination bracket here for the North American Challenger for WCS.